Welcome you all. So guys, today we are going to discuss a main thing about context sensitive grammars. So friends, in the last video we have discussed about what is a we can say linear bounded automata. So the linear bounded automata accept the grammar or the language which is simply known as a context sensitive language, and that language generated by the context sensitive grammar. So what is a context sensitive grammar? We have discussed today some definition and one example of it. So we already know that the context sensitive grammar is simply known as a type 1 grammar. So regular grammar is type 3 grammar, and then push on automata type, or we can say context free grammar is simply known as a type 2 grammar, and context sensitive grammar is known as a type 1 grammar. So it is known as a type 1 grammar or context sensitive grammar. So it is a tuple 4 variable VTPS, or we can say it is a grammar defined by the 4 variables VTPS, where V is a variables, T is a terminus, P is a production, and S is a small symbol, a start symbol. So know that V is a set of all variables, T is a set of all terminals, P is a set of all productions, and S is the start symbols. I think you know that what is a variable and what is a terminal and what is a productions. I already discussed in my previous video in the context sensitive grammar, context free grammar and regular grammar. If you don't know about that, then please watch my previous video. Instead of that, I also want to shortly explain on it. The variables which are replaced by the terminals are simply known as the variables, and terminals are the endpoint which cannot be substituted by the other variables are simply known as the terminals. And production rules simply provide a way to replacing the variable with a particular terminal, something like that. So let's have a look on it a little bit detail. So in the type 1 grammar, the important thing is that you have to be noted down, or you can remember it. It is in the form of x produces y, where x and y are the combination of variables and terminals, and plus it means it must contain variables and terminals, something like that. Not a null value, variables or terminal, or both variables and terminal, something like that. So x we can say produces y. It means uh, another thing is that when the length of x, always it is important that the left hand side very value, it is the left hand side and it is the right hand side. So length of the left hand side variables, or we can say left hand side portion, is always small or equals to the length of the right hand side portion. That is the one thing. Or another word we can say, the length of right hand side in the production is always equal to or greater than to the length of left hand side. So just for recall, I also write a type 2 and type 3 grammar. So type 3 grammar is known as a regular grammar. I already discussed in my previous videos. So it is in the form of S produces A alpha A beta, or S produces A alpha oblique beta, where S is a variable, or alpha and betas are the terminals, and capital A is a variable. While the type 2 grammar is in the form of A alpha, where alpha we can say is a combination of variables and terminal star. It means it may contain the null value, but it is the important thing is that this grammar cannot contain the null value, or it not accept the null value, something like that, because it is a plus value. So I hope you understand this thing. So it is just a simply revision to you. So it is a type 2 grammar, which is simply known as a context-free language or context-free grammar, which is generate the context-free language, and the automata which accept that context-free language is simply known as a push-down automata. And type 3 grammar is generate the regular grammar, a regular language, and the automata which accept it simply known as a finite automata. And today we are discussing type 1 grammar is known as a context sensitive grammar, and the language generated by the context sensitive grammar is simply known as a context sensitive language, and the automata which accept it simply known as a linear bounded automata, which already discussed in the previous video. So it is a type 1 grammar. So I hope you remember, or you can know the concept, or you can easily differentiate between the grammar of type 2, type 3, or we can say type 1. Now let some mm, definition on it. So X and Y are the combination of variables and terminals. The grammar type 1, the grammar type 1 grammar is called context sensitive grammar. The language generated by the type 1 grammar is called context sensitive language. I already told you. And the machine which accepts the context sensitive language is simply known as a linear bounded automata or LBA. So it is three things. So the language, grammar and automata. Language is a context sensitive language, grammar is a context sensitive grammar, and corresponding automata is a context sensitive automata. So let's have an example on it so you can have better understanding on it. So suppose there is a grammar, or we can say there is a what is language generated by the following context sensitive grammar. If it is already given that the given grammar which is a context sensitive grammar, then you observe that it must be in the form of like this form. Like this form, it means the left side is also contains the terminal and variable, as well as the right side is also contain terminals and variable. So till now you remember that type 2 and type 3 grammar cannot contain the left hand side, or we can say cannot contain terminal at the left hand side, but type 1 grammar contains a terminal at the left hand side. So it is very important things you have to be noted down. So it is simple. S produces A, B, C, or A, capital A, B, or capital C. Similarly, capital A, capital B produces BA. So with the help of this production, you can say that you can easily identify that this given grammar is a context sensitive grammar because left hand side is also contain the terminal. So it is B is a terminal. Then capital AC produces capital B or B, C, C. And then small b, capital B produces capital B, small b. And then small a, capital B produces small a or small a, capital A. So it is a given grammar. So it is a grammar is given to us. So we have to be generate a language and identify which language is simply generated by this particular grammar, something like that. So for doing that, we just start from the starting symbol and replacing it with its production. Then take and look to the particular production at the end and identify the general form of it. So we simply take S produces small a, capital A, small b, and capital B. Now underline is simply shows that we are going to replace this capital A and capital B uh, by using a particular production. So what is the production? So production is small capital small b produces small b capital A. Just reverse it. So we just reverse it. So it is a red word. Red color is simply show that this symbol, or we can say this production and variables terminals are comes after the replacement. So simply replace capital and capital B with capital A and small b by small b capital A. So how we replace it is by using this production, okay, because capital A small b produces small b capital A. So in the next we are going to place capital A capital C. So capital A capital C is producing capital B small c and small c. So let's have a look. We simply replace this capital A and capital C by using the capital B, C and C, small c and small c by using this production rule. Now what we have to be remove, we can say B, we want to remove it. So what is production of B and capital B? So small b capital B produces the capital B and small b, something like that. We simply replace it with that value. So we replace it this value, then we get small a capital B, small b, small b, small c and small c. Why? Because small b capital B produces capital B, small b. Again we have small a and small b. Just replace small and small b with the help of small a and capital A, or we can say small a and small a. So we want to terminate it, so we simply replace it with small a and small a. So after getting the small a and small a, we are getting twice a, twice b and twice c in the small, or we can say terminal. So if you are able to observe it, then you can say that this grammar generate the small a to the power n, small b to the power n, and small c to the power n. So it is very important that this grammar, this context sensitive grammar is produced. It is a context sensitive grammar, not context sensitive language. This context sensitive grammar produces the language is simply a to the power n, b to the power n, c to the power n. So a to the power n, b to the power n, and c to the power n is an example of context sensitive grammar, or it is a, sorry, or it is a context sensitive language. One more thing, you cannot able to evaluate it, or you cannot test it on the push down automata, because push down automata can check the two conditions, can compare the two variable a or b, something like that. So it is not a compare by the push down automata. So it is this. So answer is this. This particular grammar is generate a to the power n, b to the power n, c to the power n, a language or context sensitive language. So I hope you understand what is a context sensitive grammar and what is context sensitive language. So in the next video we will discuss some more example or some more things on context sensitive language and context sensitive grammar. We are taking example of linear bounded automata. So I hope you understand this concept, and I am very happy. If you have any doubt, then please ask me. I feel very happy to answer your questions, and I want try to my best to clear your doubts. So thank you very much.